Welcome back to Jay's Smokehouse. Can cannabis aid in opiate and other drug withdrawals? Now, the reason that I say this is I'm pulling it from the history of cannabis. Now, this is actually going to be part 2 in my 1800s History of Cannabis series. However, there's not much in the second part of the 1800s, so I wanted to go ahead and mix both of these together because not only do I pull this from history, but I have personal experience in dealing with withdrawals myself. Now, it wasn't specifically opiates, it was benzoates. However, cannabis really did aid in that. However, before I get into this, I hope that everybody knows that it will not fix you. Cannabis is a tool, just like exercise and other modes of helping yourself. It's just a tool that can help you in bettering yourself. It's all really up to you and what discipline you put into it and what work you put into it. Cannabis is just a tool. Now, in 1889, there was an article in a very prominent journal of medicine, which is actually still a prominent journal of medicine as I understand it. And this would be the Lancet. Now, this specific article was done by Dr. E.A. Birch. And in it, he lays out how he believes that cannabis can be a tool in aiding in opiate and other drug withdrawals. Now, like I said, I have dealt with addiction myself. First with benzoates and then with harder drugs. And yes, opiates were part of that, Vicodin specifically. Now, I really did help with a lot of that with cannabis. It did not fix it. I still had issues. However, it alleviated a lot of the pains, and it didn't fix them, but it made them bearable. Let's just say that. And it gave me something else that I could use. And I didn't feel beholden to it, such as I could go several days without using it at a time and I wouldn't get those withdrawal effects. Now, I have heard a lot of testimonials from my listeners and other people who have been messaging me, but they also say that cannabis really helped them in their own addiction. And so this is something that I think specifically should be looked at and maybe taken a little bit more seriously. And as we can see, and as I've mentioned in the History of Cannabis series 1800s part 1, we see that in the 1850s, in the Pharmacopeia in the United States, cannabis was listed as, among many other things, as a medication for opiate withdrawals or opiate addiction. And so that is something I think that we really should look into. And this is something that built up. There's so much more throughout history that they predicted or used cannabis as a medicine that has been proved today. And that's something I do want to go into more in the future with my History of Cannabis series, and maybe go into a little bit more on the nuances rather than just giving the straight facts. Now, I am set to go on a podcast here soon to talk about the history of cannabis. Now, when that happens, I'll talk more about it, but I am really excited about this. And I'm excited to learn more about this podcast that I'm going to go on. Now, I will bring more information on that in next episode, so I really hope that you follow along and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with the videos coming out in the future. Now, don't forget to like and comment, let me know what you think, and let me know what cannabis has specifically helped you in your life, in your ailments, or if cannabis helped you in addiction. I would like to hear from you in the comments, and so other people can see and maybe give me some ideas for other videos in the future on what cannabis can help in ailments. Now, as always, Jay is going to go smoke a J.